Hi, and welcome to another episode of Creatio Tech Hour. My name is Lena, I'm a Creatio Academy trainer, and today's topic is how to become a certified Creatio Analyst. So in this episode, we will discuss basically who is a Creatio Analyst, who this certification is for, what's your learning path if you want to become one. We will talk about the certification process and basically what's next. What's the advantages of becoming a certified Creatio Analyst? So a Creatio Analyst is an expert, a certified Creatio Analyst is an expert in Creatio product functionalities, in no-code customizations, and our BPM tools. The certification process is designed for product owners, business analysts, pre-sale engineers, or technical consultants that work with Creatio platforms. So as you can see, this is not just for business analysts, it's for anybody who will be customizing Creatio platform, Creatio products using no-code, low-code tools. So if you're not a developer, this is the certification for you. But you still have to be a technical expert because it will take more than just knowing the product functionalities. You will have to be knowledgeable in no-code customization and business process tools. So required product skills for the certification will be knowledge of one of the Creatio products. So you have an option to choose the product you want to certify in, whether it's sales, marketing, or service. You have to know how to customize Creatio, again using those no-code tools, and you have to be able to create new sections, you have to be able to create new details, know how to distribute access permissions, and basically use all of those no-code tools that do not require you to code. Another thing that you need to be have skills in would be business process management. You need to know how to build processes. You need to know how to basically automate things from scratch in Creatio and use the business process designer. So all of these skills would be required of you to pass the certification. And you have to know Creatio, the basics of Creatio architecture and integrations. Yes, not all integrations can be set up by a business analyst or basically with the no-code tools, including those web service integrations, but you still need to have some basic understanding in what types of integrations Creatio supports, and what's the architecture of the application, right? Again, a general understanding what servers are required and so on. The skills from the business analysis that are required for the certification would be, again, to understand relational data modeling. You probably would not be able to create your own sections, create your details, other objects in the system if you don't know how to work with relational databases. You need to know how to work with requirements, basically, again, how to gather those requirements from clients in order to build a technical solution, in order to design the solution for the client. So which questions to ask, which things do you need to talk about, so things like that. Again, you will have questions about that during your certification process. And obviously project troubleshooting. You need to know how to present your project to the client. You need to understand, well, if the client is not satisfied, what do you do? If your stakeholders are not happy with the solution, how do we build this entire process in a way that delivers good results, so it's as smooth as possible? And what are the good best practices in terms of delivering your solution, presenting it, again, starting from gathering your requirements all the way up to presentation and, again, future use of the solution. Now, let's talk about the steps that you need to take in order to prepare yourself for the certification. You probably want to start at the beginning. Well, how can you learn more about Creatio? How can you learn all those necessary product skills that will be tested during the certification process? So on our website, under the certification and tests tab, you will find 4 different roles and the learning path for them. So we try to create a very structured approach. It's very structured learning path that will help you navigate through all the necessary steps that you need to take in order to prepare for the certification. So select the role that you want to explore. In our case, it's going to be Creatio Analyst today. This is the certification we are talking about, and here you can select which product you want to certify in, and depending on the product, it will ask you which product you want to certify in, and then will prepare the learning path for you. So you can see already in the e-learning courses that are recommended to me, I need to know about marketing tools and how to use them. If I choose sales, I'm gonna go with sales tools, and so on. So the system will recommend the necessary e-learning courses that you will need to explore. Now, there are 2 formats in which you can prepare for the certification, and in general in which you can study. First one is basically an individual, where you combine, or maybe you can take a complete approach where you learn everything yourself, where you prepare by yourself by simply going through our free e-learning courses on the Academy website. It's definitely an option. We have all the necessary information that you need to know in order to prepare for the certification, available through those learning courses plus documentation. Now, you can combine that with basically your guided learnings, and guided learnings are offered once a month and help you understand the no-code customization, administration, and BPM tools. So if you need help studying that, and that's probably the most intense topic if we talk about Creatio, how to administer Creatio, how to do no-code customizations, and how to use BPM tools, all of that will be covered in a guided learning. And guided learnings are offered again once a month. It's 8 sessions. Each session is 2 hours long, and every session is recorded, and you study together with the trainer, so either with myself, with somebody, some of my colleagues, and basically we go through a case that helps you understand how do you start modifying anything in Creatio. Where do we start? How do you create a new section? How do you create a new detail? How do you filter data? How do you analyze data? How do you print your reports and set up those reports? And we finish off basically by going through cases and business processes, and learning how to use those tools as well, building multiple examples of business processes, exploring different approaches during the guided learning session. So this is one of the formats that you can use. Basically, you study using e-learning courses to understand basic product functionalities. Those are usually covered in the e-learning. And another good option would be to go through the guided learning. You can do first guided learning and then e-learning courses, or you can do or you can go the other way around. It's up to you. Our recommendation, maybe look at the e-learning courses. If you understand that they are enough, you can just simply proceed with them and then register for the certification. If you feel like you would like to get more hands-on experience and more practical time with a trainer, so you can ask questions, so you can go through a bunch of different other examples besides those that are offered in the e-learning courses, well, then definitely sign up for the guided learning. Again, the times are posted for each month, and we do post them in advance. So for example, if I want to certify in sales, I do want to take this approach. I'm just one person. I want to learn myself how to become basically a Creatio Analyst, and by simply clicking enroll, it's going to take me to only those courses, if you scroll down, that are recommended for my learning path. So all of those that were listed on the page before are listed here, and I can go through each of these courses in my own time, preparing, watching videos, completing practical assignments whenever works for me. So again, this is something you need to do prior to registering for the certification. If you want to sign up for the guided learning, again, select enroll, and it's going to take you to the guided learning sessions that are offered next, basically. So the upcoming one will be in September, and you can sign up for it. From time to time, we do change the time when it's offered. So if the time doesn't work for you, please feel free to email us. We'll be happy to check what we can do, whether maybe adapting a upcoming session for your time zone. Now, once you covered all the courses, you went through all the courses, you went through the guided learning, now it's time to sign up for your certification exam. So at this point, you are well prepared to take the exam. To sign up for your exam, we do suggest that you take a self-assessment test, whether before signing up or maybe in the process, because again, depending on the availability of the time slots, maybe your exam will not be for another couple of weeks, so you'll still have that time. To take an exam, on the bottom of this page, you need to choose your exam type, then choose your language, and then the exam date. So choose the date that works for you and choose the available time slot that works for you. Please pay attention to the time zones that the slots are offered in. We do offer them in 2 different time zones, so adjust to the time zone accordingly. After that, your name, your email information will come from the your profile. So you have to be registered with the Academy website in order to register for certification, or in order to take your e-learning courses and register for the guided learning. So you do have to be registered at that time. Then follow up with the check your personal information, and then proceed to payment and review. Select the option that's is applicable to you, and then sign up. So this is the process of signing up for the exam. Now, in order to prepare for the test portion of the exam, you can take the self-assessment test, which allows you to go through a similar test to the one you're expected to see during the certification. So for example, again, I choose my role, I choose my product, and I choose my level. Yes, certification is offered in 2 levels. There are 2 certificate levels for Creatio Analysts, basic and advanced. The difference would be in the following. Basic level is suitable for those working with small to medium segment clients on medium to small projects. Those skills that we test would be enough to cover those types of projects. If you want to work on enterprise level projects, we do recommend that you take an advanced level certification, since it will test more of your skills that are necessary to feel comfortable working on those projects. From the standpoint of whether Creatio support will respond to your inquiries after the certification, and certified specialists, certified analysts will be able to contact Creatio support with more technical questions and get answers. You have, in order for the support to provide you with that assistance, you have to be certified. That level will not be taken into consideration. As long as you're certified, you're good to go. but we do recommend basic for working with small to medium projects and advanced for enterprise, for those who are working on enterprise projects. With self-assessment test, again, choose the correct role, product, level, continue on, and then you will take a test that is similar to the one you can expect during the certification. It's not the same test. The questions test the same, basically, areas of expertise: your product skills, your integration skills, your creation architecture skills, your business process skills, relational data modeling skills, and so on. You will take this test, and you will be timed, so it's I think you have an hour to complete the test, the self-assessment test, and based on your completion of this test, you can determine whether you need to study any particular areas more, or you're good to go with your certification. Now, certification also consists of a practical assignment. The practical assignment that you will receive 7 days prior to the certification. That assignment has to be completed before your certification date, your exam date. And the practical assignment will test your no-code customization and BPMN skills. So basically, we'll ask you to create a kind of like a small solution based on the requirements provided in the assignment. The assignment will outline the necessary tasks that have to be completed. And during the certification exam, we will check your practical assignment. So on the day of your certification, you need to show up. The exam will take place over Zoom. And during the exam, you basically show us your practical assignment, showing how you completed it. And if the trainer has additional questions, he or she will ask them, obviously, ask you to show different portions of the assignment, making sure that it's completed well enough. You cannot have any critical mistakes with a practical assignment. It has to be completed with only maybe minor mistakes. Why? Because practical assignment is 50% of your overall certification grade, and it's a pass-fail. So if you don't pass, if your practical assignment contains some critical mistakes, meaning maybe your processes don't work, your object model is incorrect, then you will have to reschedule, you'll have to redo the exam, you'll have to come back one more time. If your practical assignment is accepted, then you move on to the test. Again, with the test and the assignment, depending on the level you have chosen, and you can make that decision when you receive your practical assignment. So on the day that you receive your practical assignment, you can determine whether you want to go for a basic certificate or for advanced certificate. Take a look at the assignment. Determine, do you have enough skills to go for the advanced? If yes, if you have enough, if you know Creatio well enough, go ahead and complete the assignment for the advanced level. If your role or your projects do not require basic advanced skills, you're good with a basic certificate, please proceed with those tasks that are necessary for the basic level. And after we have checked your practical assignment, you complete the test. The test will include 2 types of questions. First, it's going to include the multiple choice questions, and those either have a single correct answer or multiple correct answers. And then you will also have interview style questions. Those questions you have to answer verbally. And if the trainer has additional questions while you're providing your answer, the trainer can ask them. And again, you have a little discussion with the trainer based on your answers. Interview style questions basically require you to provide your recommendations, how you would deal with a given situation, things like that. So these are more open-ended questions and don't necessarily have one correct answer. What we're looking for here is how you think. Can you convince the trainer that this approach is the one that needs to be taken? Because to certain questions, I'll be honest, couple of correct answers. Yes, because again, some of the situations are not so clear cut. Which product would you recommend? Sometimes you can make a case for multiple products. There would be clearly incorrect answers, but there could be potentially multiple correct answers. Those interview questions are also available in the self-assessment test. So if you take the self-assessment test, you can get a feeling of what questions to expect in that regard as well. So once you complete your certification, you receive your certificate. Your certificate will be valid for 1 year from your certification date. With that certificate, again, you can contact customer support and get more advanced support than you would if you weren't a certified analyst. Your certificate has to be renewed. It has to be renewed once a year, so it's going to be valid for a year, and then once you have your certificate, you will be able to sign up for recertification. With the recertification process, we no longer provide you with a practical assignment. You don't need to complete it. You only need to go through the test. Because practical assignment, again, once you've passed your practical assignment, we are confident that you have the necessary skills to complete any no-code customizations, create your business processes, some simple integrations, and so on. So what we're testing on a yearly basis is basically your knowledge of the products. Products do evolve and do change. There are new releases coming out every couple of months. So in order for you to stay up to date on those new features, this is what the recertification process is for. It's going to be testing you on the product knowledge, whether you're aware of changes happening to the product, how the product is evolving, and if you're keeping track of those updates and releases. So if the website allows you to sign up for recertification, then you only need to take a test. And we do advise that you sign up for the recertification before your certificate expires, because if you take too long after the certificate has expired, you will have to complete the practical assignment again. So in order to go through the recertification process, please be sure to sign up for recertification prior to your certificate expiring. So let's go through again a couple of additional features that you could take advantage of. First of all, something new that we have released, and we will be expanding our self-assessment test for latest release features. So if you're applying for the recertification, this is something you need to look into, because again, with the recertification, you will need to know your latest releases, and these tests will help you keep up to date. Then, besides basically going through the e-learning courses and your and the standard guided learning, then you can also find the answers in the documentation, in the Creatio documentation. The process for certifying multiple people is not that different from certifying one specialist. Obviously, it's just a matter of the number of people you need to get certified. So we talked about the path for one Creatio analyst. Well, if you have a team of specialists that you need to first learn Creatio and then basically certify, we suggest you go for the corporate training format, basically for teams. So if you have more than 5 people that need to go through this learning process, we do suggest that you choose the corporate training learning path, and as you can see, the steps are very similar. The only difference is if you have multiple people, it's easier if you schedule corporate trainings. This way, they will be scheduled when it's convenient for you. The administration, no-code customization, and BPM tools, that training will be scheduled at your convenience for your team. And again, those product trainings, your team can either do the e-learning courses themselves, or we can schedule another corporate training for everybody to go through. This way, again, if you have multiple people, it's a much faster approach to taking care of everybody, and you don't need to wait for the next upcoming guided learning session. Instead, again, you can ask for custom dates with a corporate training. The rest of the process will be the same. Basically, again, each team member has to register for individual certification, and then basically take the self-assessment in order to prepare, complete the practical assignment. Each team member will get their own assignment, and show up for the certification, present the assignment, and take the test. So the main difference in this corporate approach or team approach is in the way we handle basically learning Creatio, that you can choose a corporate training rather than going through the guided learning. Corporate trainings, we can accommodate up to 12 people in one session. So if it's more, please send us a message. I guess we can definitely work with that as well. But this way you get your team up and ready in much faster time frame, in much shorter time frame. If you have any questions about how to be that weren't covered in the session, we welcome those in the chat, in the comments. Feel free to leave us a message if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to answer those as well. And we're hoping to see you during one of our certifications. This is it for this topic. Next week, we're going to talk about how to become a certified Creatio developer, and my colleague Kirill will be talking about that. We'll see you next week. Bye.